Ladies and gentlemen, less than 3% of India pays income tax, and those who do pay this income tax know the pain of parting with 30% of their salaries every month. Therefore, whenever someone says tax, I tend not to feel very well disposed towards that person. But right now, I'm feeling very well disposed towards Sam Pitroda. He is widely known as Rahul Gandhi's guru, and as part of his wealth distribution gyan, redistribution gyan, he waded into the very tricky territory of inheritance tax. He said, like the US, India should look at having 55% tax on things that we inherit. Now, in this season of wealth distribution and Mangal Sutras, his statement, of course, blew up. Now, there has been so much outrage over inheritance tax from the Prime Minister, no less, that one is assured that we will not have to deal with this inheritance tax for the next 5 years. Now, that is the good news for citizens like you and me. But the news is not good for the Congress party, for whom the curse of the motor mouths is unending. Has the Congress scored a self-goal and given the BJP another reason to badger them on the wealth redistribution debate? We will get to that in just a bit, but first, let's hear from Sam Pitroda.
In America, there is an inheritance tax. One has $100 million worth of wealth. And when he dies, he only transfer probably 45% to his children. 55% is grabbed by government. Now, that's an interesting law. It says, you in your generation made wealth. You are leaving now. You must leave your wealth for public. Not all of it, half of it. Which to me sounds fair. Yeah, you don't have that. If somebody is worth 10 billion and he dies, his children get 10 billion. Public get nothing. These are the kind of issues people will have to debate, discuss.
Now, hua to hua doesn't work in election season. The BJP pouncing onto his remarks, and once again, it started attacking Rahul Gandhi. Sam said his remarks have been twisted by the Godi media, which wants to divert attention from the Prime Minister's lies on the Congress manifesto. Mr. Pitroda says his comments had nothing to do with the policies of the Congress or their manifesto, and that he was merely talking about what the situation is in the US. But the damage was already done. So the Congress stepped in rather quickly and officially distanced itself from Sam Pitroda and his remarks. They called his observations personal.
While he's free to say whatever he has to say on issues on which he feels strongly, it's not always that he reflects the views of the Indian National Congress. And on this particular issue also, he's not reflecting the official position of the Indian National Congress. But I think what is happening is his comments are torn out of context and they are being sensationalized in order to divert attention from the Prime Minister's deliberate, mischievous and malicious, poison-ridden campaign. A desperate Prime Minister, a nervous Prime Minister, is trying to divert attention away from the real issues and sensationalize comments of people like Mr. Pitroda.
But the damage had been done. The opportunity had been handed over to the Prime Minister, and he ran with it. Listen in.
कांग्रेस की नजर सिर्फ आपके आरक्षण पर ही ऐसा नहीं है। कांग्रेस की नजर आपकी कमाई पर, आपके मकान, दुकान, खेत, खलिहान पर भी है। कांग्रेस के शाहजादे का कहना है कि ये देश के हर घर, हर अलमारी, हर परिवार की संपत्ति का एक्सरे करेंगे। हमारी माताओं बहनों के पास जो थोड़ा बहुत स्त्री धन होता है, गहने जेवर होते हैं, कांग्रेस उनकी भी जांच कराएगी। यहां सरगुजा में तो हमारी आदिवासी बहनें चंदवा पहनती हैं, हंसूली पहनती है, हमारी बहनें मंगलसूत्र पहनती हैं। कांग्रेस ये सब आपसे छीनकर वो कहते हैं हम इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देंगे। अब आपको मालूम है ना वो किसको देंगे? मालूम है ना किसको देंगे? आपसे लूट करके किसको देंगे मालूम है ना? मुझे कहने की जरूरत है क्या? क्या ये पाप करने देंगे क्या आप?
Now, the Prime Minister's stinging attacks did fail to draw the Gandhi siblings into this mud flight. Both Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are continuing to maintain that their manifesto, the Nyay Patra, has scared Prime Minister Modi, and that is why he is diverting attention from real issues.
मैनिफेस्टो आपको अच्छा लगा? आपने देखा होगा कि प्रधानमंत्री पैनिक कर गए हैं। हाँ, बिल्कुल हिल गए, घबरा गए। क्रांतिकारी मैनिफेस्टो है। हिंदुस्तान में आज 90% के साथ अन्याय हो रहा है, भयंकर अन्याय हो रहा है। देशभक्त चाहता है हिंदुस्तान आगे बढ़े, देशभक्त चाहता है कि हिंदुस्तान एक दिन सुपर पावर बने, जो भी जैसे भी आप कहना चाहो। तो अगर आप सुपर पावर बनना चाहते हो तो 90% शक्ति का प्रयोग तो करना पड़ेगा। ये मेरे लिए अब राजनीतिक मुद्दा नहीं है, ये अब मेरा लाइफ का मिशन है।
देखिए, चुनाव जो भाजपा के बड़े बड़े नेता हैं, प्रधानमंत्री जी इंक्लूडेड, उनके व्यवहार से ये लग रहा है कि चुनाव उनके पक्ष में नहीं जा रहा है, क्योंकि वो ऐसा लगता है कि बौखलाए हुए हैं, बहकी बहकी सी बातें कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं कौन से मुद्दे उठा रहे हैं। जबकि अगर 10 सालों के लिए इन्होंने कुछ किया होता जनता के लिए, जनता के जीवन में तरक्की लाने के लिए, मतलब कि आपका जो जीवन है उसमें जो महंगाई आई है उसको कम करने के लिए, रोजगार दिलवाने के लिए, शिक्षा के संस्थान बनाने के लिए, स्वास्थ्य की सुविधाएं देने के लिए, तो आज ये मंच पर आकर ये डिस्कशन नहीं होता जो आजकल हो रहा है। रोज सुबह उठ के कोई नया मुद्दा उठा रहे हैं जिससे कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है जनता का, मतलब उसको, और इस हद तक अब चले गए हैं कि अपने आप नए नए मुद्दे ऐसे निकाल रहे हैं, झूठ बोल रहे हैं लोगों को, और लोगों को गुमराह करने की कोशिश, डराने की कोशिश हो रही है। और मुझे लग रहा है कि ये सब जो शुरू हुआ है फर्स्ट फेज की पोलिंग के बाद, मुझे लग रहा है कि शायद इनको लग रहा है कि ये रुझान जो है इनके पक्ष में नहीं जा रहा है, इसलिए ये ऐसा कर रहे हैं।
Now, the Congress did try and build a counter narrative. It found an old clip of the BJP's Jayant Sinha to support its case. In an 11-year-old video, the soon-to-be Minister of Finance can be heard actually supporting the inheritance tax. Let me just clarify. This is before Jayant became the MOS Finance. This was in 2013.
Having a state taxes in India is actually not about the revenues that you can generate. I think what it can do, and it's one of those structural reforms that can in fact change the political economy of India. So if we want to create a society that gives opportunities that are equal to everyone, we have to level the playing field. And we have to have the creative destruction that entrepreneurial capitalism requires, which is why we need estate taxes, so that we take away at least 50 or 55% of the advantage that dynastic business people already have right now. You have to set it up correctly, which is that if you take money out of the estate tax net, it can go into a foundation where we then apply the entrepreneurial energies and the business talent that our great wealth creators have, philanthropy, and to give back to society. So we create the incentive for them to redirect their energies, and I think that's another very important reason to have estate taxes.
Okay, so we are talking about inheritance tax. Let's quickly take a look at what exactly it is. Inheritance tax is a duty which is levied upon the assets of a person who has died, who has passed away. The tax is taken from the person who inherits the wealth of the deceased, and the government then uses this money to fund its various programs like it does in the US. In India, where we are already paying so much taxes, thankfully, there is no inheritance tax. But we did have inheritance tax till 1985. It was then called the estate tax. This is where believe it or not, the government imposed 85% duty on properties which were worth 20 lakhs or more. This was plain, simple, exploitative. It was called the estate tax. It was abolished by Rajiv Gandhi in 1985, also Sam Pitroda's friend. But globally, inheritance tax or death tax is a fairly common phenomenon. For example, United States, which was referred to by Sam Pitroda. Inheritance tax is in place in 6 states, and the duty levied on property and cash inheritance can be as low as 1% or as high as 18%. Imagine you take over a property of your father or your mother after their death, and the government, which already takes so much from you, taxes that as well. It's unfair, right? As I said, India has been inheritance tax free since 1985. Thank God for that. But that's not to say its implementation hasn't been thought about before today. Or it's not like it hasn't been spoken out before today. In 2012, the then Finance Minister of India, Chidambaram, had openly spoken about a need to debate whether inheritance tax is needed or not. Then in 2013, it was the soon-to-be Minister of State for Finance, Jayant Sinha. You heard his comments earlier. And in 2018, even Arun Jaitley had highlighted how the presence of inheritance tax had actually led to institutions, especially educational institutions, financial institutions, and even health institutions like hospitals, getting huge endowments in foreign countries like the US, but not in India. So Arun Jaitley as well had made a case for inheritance tax. But all these gentlemen were speaking about a debate on the inheritance tax. No one was speaking about imposing it. Is anyone speaking about it, imposing it right now? That is a question we'll ask our guests who are joining us. Dr. Tayal, BJP leader, joining us on the broadcast. Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, spokesperson of the Party. Tehseen Poonawala is a political analyst, and Kishore Subramania continues to be with us, financial expert. Thank you very much, all of you gentlemen, for joining us. Mr. Khan, can I start with you? There's a curse of the motor mouths in the Congress party.
We are very well
Why did
clarified.
Mr. Pitroda have to go and why did Mr. Pitroda have to go and make life more difficult for the Congress party?
What can I say? People of the country have a difficult life because of the 10 years of misgovernance of the BJP Modi government. What Mr. Pitroda has said, it can be his own personal views and opinions. Nowhere in our manifesto, categorically or indirectly, we have said that we want to do redistribution or we want to impose inheritance tax. Nowhere we have said. Now this has come a complete lie. A complete lie. Rather, it was our government in 1985 when Rajiv Gandhi ji abolished state tax, which was way back 40 years ago.
Correct.
Which was rather people from the BJP have spoken in past 10 years that they want to introduce this inheritance tax. Jayant Sinha said, who was a junior minister of state, you showed on your screen, he said publicly, stated that he wanted to introduce inheritance tax in 2014. It was not done. In 2017, report came that there is a discussion about inheritance tax in the Modi government. In 2018, Arun Jaitley praised this. And there was rumor that they are going to introduce inheritance tax. We never said, and nowhere in our manifesto it has been said. Nowhere it has been said. So actually, the issue is, after the first phase of election, I'll just complete. After the first phase of elections, on 102 seats on 19th of April, Prime Minister has understood that he's losing badly. 75 to 25 ratio. India Alliance is, as per our surveys, winning 75 seats out of the 102 which have gone to polls. The very next day, I just finished. Shreya, just give me 30 seconds. I leave the show. I have to go somewhere. 30 seconds. On 19th of April, when first phase was going on in Rampur, Sambhal, Moradabad, polling was going on, Prime Minister was speaking in Amroha and he said that we have given an award to Shami Bhai. And on 20th of April, he said Shami Bhai is a Ghuspetia. Mohammad Shami is a Ghuspetia. Because very next day, Rajasthan said, you want to give your Mangal Sutra, your properties, everything to whom? Who have 6 children, who are Muslims. You want want to give the properties to Guspettia. So one day he said, Shami is my bhai. He gave Arjun Award. The very next day, he said that all Muslims are Guspettia. APJ Abul Kalam is a Guspettia. Arif Muhammad Khan is a Guspettia. Is a Guspettia. Now the issue is, Prime Minister is rattled with the manifesto and the Congress campaign. We are talking on issues. We are talking on jobs. We are talking about farmers. We are talking about 16 lakh loan waiver to industrialists. We can give that money to farmers, to youth, to women, which we have promised in our manifesto.
Okay, I heard you out.
Therefore, it is shameful for the Prime Minister to talk all this. He should not talk all this. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
And people have to judge it.
Let's get the BJP voice in.
One last
Mr. Khan, अरे रुक जाइए, Mr. Khan, ये monologue थोड़ी ना हो सकता. Wait.
One last
Give me a minute, na. Let me get in.
I want to request my Hindu brothers and sisters to not get derailed by this communal poisonous campaign of Prime Minister and BJP leaders. Prime Minister wants to show us enemy number one. He wants to show Muslims as your enemy in vote. Talk on issues, talk on your jobs, talk for your future, talk for the future of your children, talk for farmers. For laborers.
Today Muslims are not enemy number one. Today Sam Pitroda is enemy number one. So I'm going back to him. है ना, Mr. Khan? Today Muslims. अरे रुक जाइए. मेरा enemy नहीं, मेरा तो कोई enemy नहीं है. But Khan, today for the BJP, it's not Muslims who are enemy number one. Today it is Sam Pitroda. कल कोई और हो जाएगा. नहीं कल कोई और हो जाएगा. But आज का target is Sam Pitroda. Dr. Tayal.
वो हमारे विचार नहीं है. उन्होंने कुछ कह दिया किसी डिस्कशन में, उससे क्या होता है? हमने थोड़ी कहा.
I understood. अच्छा ठीक है. अच्छा Mr. Khan, हो गया. I've heard you out. Dr. Tayal, why this spin doctrine? This is what the Congress is asking. The fact is, Mr. Tayal, hear me out. The fact is, inheritance tax has been spoken about by various governments and by various finance ministers. P. Chidambaram has spoken about it. Jayant Sinha has spoken about it. Arun Jaitley has spoken about it. They have called for a debate. Arun Jaitley, in fact, at one point of time had built a case for it as well. But it has not been implemented in India, na? Then why this spin doctrine? कि Sam Pitroda ने US में बैठे एक तीर चलाया and you just start stabbing the Congress party with it. Is the Congress party anywhere saying that we are going to impose inheritance tax on Indian people? नहीं ना?
Very interesting, Shreya. One, there is completely no harm in any debate. So not to run away from anything. If Mr. Jaitley said or Chidambaram said or anybody said, there's no running away from a debate. Or anything and everything should be discussed and debated. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, but I'd like to read out, when you said it was a debate, he called for a debate. This is from India Today of 8th of Feb 2012. They said, Chidambaram is convinced that an inheritance tax can raise revenue while serving UPA's political purpose. Now, there is something dangerous there, right? That is number one. Number two, when suddenly somebody appears every elections. So is he a bogeyman that, okay, you go say something, if it serves the purpose, fine. Otherwise, we'll distance ourselves. And it's been going on. Mr. Sam Pitroda is not a nobody. He's not an individual.
Dr. Tayal, there are people who are saying Sam Pitroda every election should be sent a big mithai ka dabba and a big bouquet from the BJP because he ends up doing the BJP's work.
He does BJP's work, but I won't say that for a reason. That his utterances are not such that they require any celebration. Now, if the Congress was serious, I have 6 instances of Congress distancing itself from Mr. Pitroda, but not sacking him. He continues to hold a very exalted position of their international Congress chairman. Now, last time he says, the Sikh massacre, he says,
why should he be sacked?
Sorry?
Hate speech तो नहीं किया ना उन्होंने अभी. I'm saying why should he be sacked? Hate speech तो नहीं किया ना.
So
Hindu Muslim तो नहीं किया. He floated an idea. Why are you saying he should be sacked? He said something stupid. Now, should stupidity be illegal? Maybe.
No, listen,
But
I'm not
asking for people to be sacked is another thing. Okay, Mr. Tayal, complete your point. I want to play the Prime Minister's soundbite. So please complete your point.
He has every right to be stupid. I'm not contesting that. But what I'm saying on the behalf of Congress, if somebody is embarrassing the party and it is not the line of the party 6 times, somebody says, I need proof of Pulwama.
Okay.
और जो हुआ सो हुआ और जो selfish middle class, he said selfish middle class, they should give away their money for the poor, and Congress said we distance ourselves. But if it is not the inherent thought of the Congress, why would they just distance themselves from the thought and not from the person? Which means this is the thought of the Congress. Only he's too innocent, he lets it out in public space, and then suddenly the Congress is embarrassed and they disown the thought, but never the man. 6 times is far too much in politics, all the time and again. So let us understand it is aggressive what they are doing.
Okay, Mr. Tayan, I'm going to ask you to wait, and I'm going to ask Tehseen to wait as well, and Kishore Subramani as well, because I want to put out the Prime Minister's bite. Now, the Prime Minister wasn't one to keep quiet. If he's been given an opportunity, he'll of course go play with it, and that's exactly what he did, borrowing a tagline, in fact, from the LIC. Listen in.
शाही परिवार के शाहजादे के सलाहकार, इस शाही परिवार के शाहजादे के पिताजी के भी सलाहकार, उन्होंने कुछ समय पहले कहा था, और ये परिवार उन्हीं की बात मानता है, उन्होंने कहा था कि हमारा देश का जो मिडिल क्लास है, मध्यम वर्गीय लोग हैं, जो मेहनत करके कमाते हैं, उन्होंने कहा उन पर ज्यादा टैक्स लगना चाहिए। ये इन्होंने पब्लिकली कहा है। अब ये लोग उससे भी एक कदम आगे चले गए हैं। अब कांग्रेस का कहना है कि वो इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स लगाएगी, माता पिता से मिलने वाली विरासत पर भी टैक्स लगाएगी। आप जो अपनी मेहनत से संपत्ति जुटाते हैं, वो आपके बच्चों को नहीं मिलेगी, बल्कि कांग्रेस सरकार का पंजा उसे भी आपसे छीन लेगा। यानी कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट। कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट, जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद भी।
Tehseen Poonawalla, just come in here. You've heard everyone, top to bottom. Fact is that I mean, what do I say? It's the curse of the motor mouths in the Congress party. You know, they have a terribly annoying habit of digging their own graves and scoring self-goal after self-goal.
So let me first do the job that I do, that is bash the BJP, because I'm politically against the BJP. So I was analyzing why the condition doesn't exist in our country. And one of the reasons I found out that those societies have very large inheritance taxes. He's talking about hospitals and treatment. Since we don't have that inheritance tax in India, our charities are not in the same terms of such endowments. Veteran BJP leader Arun Jaitley as sitting finance minister.
Correct.
Debate karo unko क्यों नहीं उस वक्त जब थे उनको क्यों उस वक्त सैक किया, जयंत सिन्हा जी को उसके बाद क्यों एमओएस फाइनेंस बनाया, तो उसको कोई डिबेट होगा नहीं. But this is the BJP. They will revel in their hypocrisy. And all Sam Pitroda asked for was a debate. So I mean, he didn't make a hate speech. Was hate speech is the honorable Prime Minister saying, and that is a hate speech कि आपका मंगलसूत्र लेकर मुसलमानों में घुसपैठियों में 6 बच्चे पैदा वालों में बांटेगी. That was borderline hate speech. What borderline? It crossed into what is hate speech. And that does not behove the Prime Minister of the greatest country in the world. It didn't behove him. But here's the larger question. You're right. You are asking me why I'm laughing. There's a saying song, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जो छुपा रहे हो. You want to defeat the BJP, but you come and you score these self goals. And so in the morning when I got up, early morning for my meditation, one of my meditation partners sent me this clip, and he said self goal ho gaya. And then the line below that was that Sam Pitroda to jhaki hai, Manishankar abhi baki hai. Oh, so I am telling you, this is vintage Congress. They will do it. I mean, if you don't know how to deal with media, don't talk to media. You don't have to talk. You know the BJP is going to misuse it. And Mr. Pitroda has done this in the past. Hua to hua. He's using adjectives for Rahul Gandhi that the BJP uses, thus popularizing it. So, I mean, you clearly are not articulate. You may have been a genius technologically. So is Mr. Manishankar. तो मत बात कीजिए ना मीडिया से. It's not compulsory कि कैमरा दिखा तो आपको बोलना है ना. रहने दीजिए, बेचारा राहुल गांधी मेहनत कर रहा है, वो अपनी मेहनत कर रहा है, थोड़ा चुनाव जीतने की कोशिश करने दीजिए. नो, you're harming Rahul Gandhi. You may have Rahul Gandhi's best interest, but you're harming him, and that's a serious thing. So we have to think about it very seriously. See what happens is, and I'm saying this as somebody who votes Congress. I've always voted Congress. This is a good organization. The country needs this organization, and Rahul and Priyanka ji are working very hard. So are other leaders, Sachin Pilot, etc. Don't come, open your mouth, and score these goals. Don't do it.
Okay,
it's not fair.
Fair point. Fair point. My question to you is this: given what we've seen play out in the last 72 hours over this entire rhetoric over wealth distribution, etc., you know, what was a rich-poor debate became a Hindu-Muslim debate. My point is, in your view, as someone who votes the Congress party, has the Congress been aggressive enough in its response to the Prime Minister and the BJP's narrative? Because to my mind, they haven't been.
No, they don't. The Congress's communication department is a disaster. They have zero idea of communication. So they react to everything, and the Prime Minister sets the agenda. In this manifesto debate that happened, for the first time in the last 3 days, I felt the Congress had the agenda on its front foot, because no matter what kind of a BJP supporter you were, or, Congress calls it Godi media, I don't believe anyone's Godi. People were genuinely questioning the BJP. Where is this in the Congress manifesto? Why did you have to get in Ghuspaitias? And even anchors who are not very charitable to the Congress were asking, look, if you're getting 400 plus, why do you need this? So the BJP was on a back foot. If you heard the Prime Minister today, he didn't use those words. He says, aapko pata hai na? He didn't, because the election commissions also looked at it. So the Prime Minister's also realized he crossed the line, and he's taken a step back. Now, when you had the Prime Minister for the first time on the back foot, you had the BJP on the back foot, you had your manifesto being propagated, with anchors saying, look, the Congress hasn't said it. So you're getting free publicity for your manifesto. What have you gone and done? You've gone, shown the goal, and shot a goal in your own goal. मैं दोबारा से कह रहा हूँ, Sam Pitroda तो जाकी है, Manishankar अभी बाकी है. देखो.
You need to take over their communications department then.
No, they are, because they don't get it. They don't get setting the agenda. इन्होंने, मैं genuinely कह रहा हूँ,
India. It's the Prime Minister actually who for the last 72 hours plus has been setting the agenda every day, day after day.
He has, but he was on the back foot. He was on the back foot because for the first time,
he's not looking like a batsman.
Because he's an alpha. Because he's an alpha. He won't do that. That's his alpha trait. Forget that. The fact was he was on the back foot, which is why he's changed his statement today. He didn't use the word Ghuspaitias. He said, "आपको पता है किनको देंगे?"
नहीं, वो तो drip drama ना, drip drama.
That's okay.
आपको पता है नहीं.
That's okay.
A politician.
That's a technical point.
That is in my view,
but
that is a politician
he didn't want to make this
for his audience.
Which is brilliant, and he did it. But he was on the back foot because anchors who are sympathetic to the BJP or known to be were asking why was this language used and why has this come in the manifesto. Now you've got it on a platter कि आप तो पैसे लेकर उनको दोगे जब वो है ही नहीं मैनिफेस्टो में. वो जो है नहीं, जो बच्चा पैदा नहीं हुआ उसके मुंडन में कौन से कोल्ड ड्रिंक बेचा जाएगा उसकी आपने डिस्कशन कर दी.
Okay.
तो कौन उसके लिए जिम्मेदार है?
So we've heard from someone who votes the Congress. I now want to hear from someone who votes the BJP. Kishore Subramania, as a devoted lawyer voter of the BJP, I want to ask you, and be honest, because you're also a citizen of India, and I think above our political ideologies, above our leanings, we are first citizens of this country, and my first and last loyalty is to this country and not to any political party. But Kishore Subramania, as someone who votes the BJP, what do you make of all that has happened in the last 72 hours? Matlab, is the BJP making baat ka batangar? Things that the Congress has not said are being put in their mouth. Things are being twisted out of context. Spin doctoring is happening like no one's business, like it's going out of fashion. What do you feel? Arey, BJP cannot be mute. It has to be unmute, Mr. Subramania. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so good evening to all my panelists. Shreya, I heard your question fully. Please allow me my responses. Point number one, the number of times Mr. Sam Pitroda has repeated these utterances, I think he should add an E to his name and make it as same Pitroda. He's just repeating the same things again and again. Now, answering back Mr. Tehseen, I have a very important point. He said that for the first time, the Prime Minister, as a political equation I'm talking, was on the back foot. I sort of tend to agree with him on that. But I'll tell you, when you are on the back foot, but the bowler gives you a half volley, you are a batsman who's going to hit it for a six, and this was a half volley. So on the political landscape, let me be as honest as I could. I think this was not even a self goal. This was a last ball, Chetan Sharma type ball, which was bowled right up the hip and it's been hit for six. Point number one. Point number two, let's also not forget the fact that why does the Honorable Prime Minister get to set the agenda? Because it's politicians have 24/7 interest of the country and he also works. So that's why he's been able to set the agenda. As far as communication is concerned, Mr. Tehseen, my friend, mentioned that Congress has bad communication group or whatever you call the team. But I say BJP equally has bad team. Let me not forget, because BJP has not been able to spell out its scheme. I'll tell you a classic case and you'll be shocked. There was a colleague of mine in my organization who said that if BJP comes, they will stop election. And I asked how? They said it's in the manifesto. I said how? They said one election, one nation. The people are thinking that's one single election. No more elections will happen. So communication from BJP has equal flaws. So don't worry about it. So people have misunderstood many things. But as far as inheritance tax is concerned, I think Mr. Sam Pitroda was absolutely wrong. Charity and inheritance tax have no correlation. There is no Gini coefficient here. What is very important to understand is that BJP is not scared of defeat. It's a sure shot victory. We are only looking at whether it's 320, 350, 370 or 400. But with one seat already won, 399 to go, I think for sure that such self goals are expected more. Thanks to Mr. Tehseen accepting to the fact of the matter. I think that these are things which are going to happen in an election rally. And to be honest, as a citizen, let me tell you, did the Prime Minister cross a line? I am nobody to judge him. But what is important to understand that yes, you should not cross a line in this country when it comes. Every political party, whether it is BJP, whether it is Congress or others, have made enough amount of hate speeches against many communities. So let's not single out here. Let's not single out BJP and let others not claim to be holier than thou. It is not of the fact of the matter. I can quote you 20, 30 instances of how other political parties...
No time for 20, 30 instances. I have only 20, 30 seconds now, Mr. Subramania. But thank you very much. Very interesting. Eh? I asked you a straight question. You didn't give me a straight answer. You gave me some jalebi, but you didn't give me a straight answer. We'll leave it there for the moment. Out of time. Kishore Subramania, thank you very much. Tehseen, ho gaya. Time to go home and eat dinner. Thank you. Tehseen Poonawalla, thank you very much. Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, thank you very much. And Dr. Tayal, thank you very much for joining us and always smiling through the show. I think that's important to point out, irrespective of how contentious and cantankerous sometimes